Canucks and the CFL. Q Sports Podcast. We're taking the lead, analyzing the games from the ring to the field, from the ice to the turf. We'll break it down, discussing every win and every loss in town. We'll talk about the Canucks and the Lions. We are your irrational
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the August 26th edition of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jake Hughes, alongside the old man. Old man, how the hell are you doing today?
I am doing great. I love that entrance, by the way. That just pumps me up. It gets me going. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to go.
Well, that's good because about a minute ago, I was concerned we might lose you to socks.
Well, there were socks that needed folding. We had a minute and a half. I folded some socks. See? Folded socks.
No, we don't need to.
Just saying. Random.
We took a week off.
I do have one extra one, though, and I don't know.
We don't need to go into the socks.
Well, what happened was...
No, we need to cut you off. We need to cut you off.
8 weeks, I wore one sock.
This is I think this is the most unhinged start to the podcast we've ever had, and there have been some unhinged starts.
Oh my god. Okay, so what were we talking about?
I was just trying to bring up the fact that we weren't here last week. There was no show because someone forgot about the show completely and totally. That's a lie.
That's not true.
What happened in last week? Do you remember?
No, I forgot.
Oh, it's the old age. It's catching up to you. The old timers. It's really getting there. I remember we sat down and had breakfast, and I said, "Okay, so for the show tonight," and you said, "Oh, I'm playing a poker tournament."
Oh, right. Yes, I was in Calgary. I knew I was doing something.
Yeah, well, it would have been good to let me know and the fans know and everyone know that there might not be a show last week.
There would have been a show last week if you would have stuck to your plans. But your plans changed our plans. You had planned to come here.
My plans changed Tuesday the week prior. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter when it changed.
Oh, my God. But we're here now.
We are.
We made it.
It's not like we missed that much. Come on. It's the dog days of August. We were talking before we came on the air, and it's like, what are we going to talk about for an hour? It might be a show.
I honestly would, if we can get through an hour,
I'd be shocked.
Just on what we have here, I'd be flabbergasted.
I could bring up socks again.
And we do not need to go back down the socks aisle.
But do you know what it's like?
I don't. I was going to ask you a question, and it's completely gone now. The socks talk is completely messed up my brain.
It's important things to know.
Yeah, not a clue. Let's just jump into our first story. I was trying to find a good segue there because there really isn't one. Well, I mean, you did bring up the dog days of summer.
Yes.
And I've been saying I've wanted to do this for a long time. I don't have the time. Luckily, Elijah Ford from Canucks Army was able to put this together. Literally, when I read the article or saw the article, I clicked on it and instantly knew we had to talk about it because I figured you'd be up for debate on this one. Because could EP40 the next Ovi?
That's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard.
Okay, so the article by Elijah Ford is what NHL history tells us about EP40's decline. Basically, there are only 100 players in NHL history that have averaged at least a point per game through their first 6 seasons. We compared every player on the list of 100 players to compare the injury or the decline in PD's performance to other players.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going through. There's a bunch of players that are their decline was after major injuries, like Paul Kariya with concussions, Mosenko with a broken leg. There are 2 players of those 100 players that EP40 match up with from scoring a point per game for the first 5 seasons, and then season 6 and 7 dropping so significantly. There are 2 players that follow this. It is Alex Ovechkin and Sergei Fedorov.
Let's hope you're right. I personally, we've given this kid so many chances. And let's hope. When is he supposed to turn around according to the stats?
So why did these 2, Alex Ovechkin and Sergei Fedorov, experience such significant declines in the middle of their primes? In both cases, the answer lies largely in the coaching philosophies and systems that surrounded them.
Okay. You can...
Fedorov's case, under Scotty Bowman, the Detroit Red Wings gradually evolved from a young, free-flowing team led by the Russian Five into a structured 4-line shutdown club during the Dead Puck era.
Yeah.
Ovechkin meanwhile, transitioned from Boost Boudreau's, so a direct comparison.
Yeah.
The best season that PD's had was under Boost Boudreau. Ovechkin, meanwhile, transitioned from Bruce Boudreau's offensive-first approach to Dale Hunter's far more defensive-minded game. Coincidentally, the most productive season of Pettersson's career came in 2022-23.
Under Boudreau.
Midway through that season, Boudreau was replaced by Rick Tocchet, whose conservative dump-and-chase defensive-first system represented a significant philosophical change.
So, do you think with our new coach, whose name is... Why is there his name...
Manny Malhotra.
Coach Malhotra, will he be playing a free flow offensive, or will he be playing the trap?
Definitely not the trap. Assuming he's keeping the same style that he had in Abbotsford, it's going to be a very forecheck heavy game with a defenseman that kind of stays up near a forward that stays up at the blue line. Like your third forward in. So there's going to be a deep forechecker, someone trying to stop that breakout pass, and then your third defenseman at the blue line rather than at your offensive blue line, not your defensive blue line.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit more aggressive towards turning the puck over and using speed to create those chances. Not as free flowing as Boost Boudreau. I mean, as much as we've loved and enjoyed Boost Boudreau's era,
he didn't have a.
There was no system.
It was go play hockey.
Which worked. It's hard. Like when you look at his results, it's hard to argue with the fact it works.
It works. He's made it work in everywhere he went.
Doesn't last long all the time, but he makes it work.
Exactly.
I think we'll see a decent bump in Pettersson's production next year.
I hope so. It can't get any worse, can it?
Normally I am all for one diving down that deep dark hole of can it get much worse, because we're Canucks fans and it can always get much worse.
It's like,
I don't think it can.
No, I don't think so either. So let's hope this is something that we can hold on to. We talked about this before. Hope is a dangerous thing in the Canucks fans' hands.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, no doubt. So if this is the hope that we need as Canuck fans, okay.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, it's also the doldrums of August. We're less than a month away from game starting, like training camp starting, like preseason game starting. I think we're 36 days or so, 35 days away from regular season game starting, which I'm very excited for. But there's not much going on around the team. So I get that there's all these thoughts and everything. But my follow-up on this is Maholter comes in, his systems work. PD by the trade deadline has 40 points.
Yeah.
Is he still a trade chip for this organization, or is he part of the future of this organization? Now, obviously, he has a lot of input on it. He does have a no movement clause, so if he doesn't want to move, or if he doesn't want to move to a team that's interested in him in picking him up, he can say no. But
I think now, I mean, you've kept him, and he's ours. And right now, I mean, if you're looking at the contracts out there, his contract's not looking as bad as it did a year and a half ago.
Yep, that's
right.
I think I did the math I was talking to a friend about it. In 2 years, where the expected cap is to be, he will be paid what an average of a $5.5-6 million player is during this flat cap era, which is a solid second line center.
Yeah.
Right. Just based off of the cap percentage rather than just the 11.6 million that we always talk about. So
it's definitely looking better compared to what it did, like I say, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So if he can turn it around a little bit, how many points did you say?
If he had 40 points at the trade deadline,
which is when's the trade deadline?
I think it's in March this year.
So we're 3/4 of the way through the season at the trade deadline, and he only has 40 points.
Only has 40 points? Sorry, 40 goals. I said 40 points. 40 goals.
Oh, well, if he has 40 goals, we're jumping up and down and we're cheering and it's the best thing that ever happened.
But
40 goals. He's not going to have 40 goals.
Hear me out.
Canucks might not even have 40 goals.
Oh, okay. We're not going to be that bad. We're going to be bad. We're not going to be that bad. March 1st is the trade deadline. So I was right. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's ours for good or bad, and hopefully we see some improvement. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah, and it's hopeful.
Yeah,
I have hope. Again, just changing up from
Hughes's in a Canucks
in a Hughes's mind. Hope is the worst thing for a Hughes's mind.
Not a Hughes's mind. I didn't say that.
You were about to.
You want to see more socks?
No, we do not want to see more socks. You know what we do want to see?
What do we want to see?
Is the Blue Jays make it into another playoffs after what's been a crazy year for the Blue Jays. I know we don't usually cover them here, but we're again in the doldrums of summer hockey season, and the Blue Jays are making me excited and hopeful.
Well, they've really turned it on over the last 25 games or so, 30 games. They've really turned it on. I want to say they won 9 series in a row. Maybe it was 10 or 11 in a row leading up to that Yankees series where we lost 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Now we're into the Royals. We lost the first game. We won tonight. So every team we play is actually below us in the standings, and below us in the standings. So all the way through now. So when we kicked it off and really turned it around in those last, I'm going to say 30 games, we were playing some tough teams. They were teams that we should be beating easily. So that gives me hope. If we can kick and win, I don't know how many. I think I counted, including this one, we have 10 more series left, 30 some odd more games. Okay. If we can win 10 more series in a row, I think we got a good shot at making this. Yes, we're 3 games out right now. But we were 6 games out 3 weeks ago. Yeah. It looked dismal, but let's hope. Let's hope. There's hope. And in the Blue Jays' hands, that's a fun thing. There's hope. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, because the team we're chasing right now, I guess the only team we're really chasing right now is the Guardians, who are, like you said, 3 games ahead of the Jays. The Rangers are also between us. Rangers are 1.5 games behind the Guardians. But then you've also got the Orioles that are 3 games behind, and the Twins at 3.5 games behind.
Yeah, and the Twins,
Mariners are.
My luck, the Twins were winning.
So they'll be 2.5 points if they hold on.
Yeah. Oh, they're losing now. They're losing. Nope, they're winning 3-2.
Yeah,
top of the 5th.
Yeah. It's exciting though. It's making me honestly tune into a lot more games, having actual excitement around the team.
Yes.
I know you've probably watched more baseball this year than you have any other year in your existence.
I've never watched this much baseball. It's fun. And when I say I watch it, I mean, it'll be on. I'll be doing stuff around. Like I have a TV out under the gazebo and I'll have it on and I'll be puttering around watching it. But it's fun. It's gives you something to do because they're on every freaking day.
Yeah.
Right? They might take a day off and then they're on.
Do you think, and I know it might be hard, but do you think that the play clock, the evolution of the play clock has something to do with that? The faster games?
Saved baseball. It literally saved baseball, in my opinion. It went from having games 3.5, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and they're finishing up in 2.5 to 3 hours every single game. It's rare that a game goes past 3 hours now. It's 2.5.
Unless you're deep into extra innings, which happens more often than I thought it would. Just looking at the games and everything.
No, it's revolutionized the game and made it way better. I love the challenges they've put in with the strike and ball challenge. I think that's so strategic. It adds another layer to baseball of when do you challenge, when don't you challenge, and I love the fact if you challenge, you get to keep your challenge.
Keep it until you basically get 2
wrongs.
You have to lose 2. Yeah, you have to lose twice to lose your challenge ability.
Yeah. So no, I think it's pretty cool. The changes they made, people were freaking out about. They were losing their the numpties were losing their mind.
So we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this. It was not on the agenda in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to pass that question on to you because I see the parallels are clearly right there. The diehards who never want the game to change are the ones you always hear about on social media. They're the ones who are complaining the loudest.
Yep.
But baseball has proven, hey, look, we made a bunch of rule changes that were deemed
but they didn't
inappropriate.
Change the field size, and actually they changed that about 4 years ago, where they made every diamond the same as far as the infield goes. Which every single diamond is now the same. It never was.
The actual diamond is, but the to where where the home run lines are, that still confuses me as to how you can consider yourself a sport and every stadium be different.
It's like you can hit one ball and it's a home run, and the next you go to the next series and it's not even close to a home run.
Yeah, it's like not even on the warning track. It's like what are we doing here?
But what they did, they changed the diamonds because they used to have more dirt, less dirt.
Yeah,
it was always 90 feet. I think it's 90 feet
90
between
feet
the bases. But the actual dirt used to be different. Now it's all the same, right out to the edge of the grass. It's the outfield that one day, somewhere down the road, somebody's going to go, this is dumb.
I don't think they can anymore.
I don't think so.
I think it's one of those weird things that baseball is just going to always do. But
it's unique. I mean, it's one of those cool things in baseball where you got the green monster.
See, I don't hate that. But the green monster, if using football terms, because that's how my brain thinks about these things, you can score a touchdown as long as you're within the soon to be 15-yard end zone.
Yeah.
On any stadium across the CFL or NFL. However, in baseball, okay, you can get home without hitting a home run. I get that. Cool. Add the big green wall, but there should be some standardization here.
Well, and not only is the walls different heights,
And
the distance
between
the distance between the infield to the wall are different.
It's ridiculous.
But it's that unique thing in baseball that just makes it fun. You can create. I don't know. There must be perimeters now that you can't go too far. You can't come in too far.
I've yet to see any.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to.
But onto the point that I originally was trying to make here is you are a big proponent of the
real changes.
Rouge rule change. That's a hard thing to say. The Rouge rule change is a positive.
Yes.
Again, things that just are common sense, having benches on opposite sides of the field.
That one just never made sense to me, having them on the same side. So yes.
The play clock, I was a bit hesitant as to the flow of play. There's only been one instance that I've seen where there was an issue with it.
It literally has been a non-issue.
100%.
Literally a non-issue. I think they're saying we get an extra few plays.
Which is great. Cool. An extra few plays. And when you're I think I don't think it was this week. I think it was last week where it's like 62% of games are being ended in the final 2 minutes. Well, that 2 extra plays in a game could be huge.
Yes.
Could we be looking in 2 years at the CFL having the same type of viewership impact with these rule changes that MLB is having? I'm just saying growth percentage wise, not actual viewership.
Yeah. I definitely can see it because people are going to, next year when the big changes come in, and let's face it, the big changes are coming in next year.
Yep.
We'll have a lot of people watching because of the rule changes. So you're going to see a spike that year. As we had a guest on, Dave Naylor, and I believe his words were, if they were to change the size of the field and then do expansion the following year, people would lose their freaking mind.
Yeah.
But if they change the size of the field and do expansion into the States in 5 years, 6 years, wasn't such a big deal.
Or what if you do, let's say BC Place is busy for a night on a night where you want to have a home game in BC. Oh, well, you know what? Let's go down the border to Seattle and make it a big thing where we've had touchdown Pacific, we've had touchdown interior. Let's do touchdown invasion.
Right?
Go down to a smaller Seattle stadium and have a game. You can do that now.
Yes, because you can make your field wider.
You can make the end zones a little bit long.
Yes.
Well, the end zones might be a bit tough depending on how everything's situated.
That's pushing the. But I get what you're saying. There's all kinds of opportunities now to do things, and
to expand the game.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I was not a fan of the change, but having seen how these changes have happened and I think, betterment of the game, who knows? Maybe somebody knows something more than what we know. We're fans.
Yep. We are the most irrational fans because when these rule changes came out, I think I was the first one to say, this is stupid.
Yes. We both were.
Then I also went, okay, well, let's think about this for a second because the irrationality took over.
Yes.
It took a month or two for me to come to those terms. And then seeing this year, it's like, okay, no, all these rule changes make sense. They're doing what they need to do.
Exactly.
One other thing I want to talk on that I didn't put in the rundown
I'm listening.
is the CFL announced on Twitter. I'm assuming they put out a press release, but I saw it on Twitter that they are updating the website over the next couple of weeks. And people have seemed to lost their mind over a website update. I don't understand it. I want to get you because I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it's your generation of fans.
I have no
lost their
faith.
mind.
I have no faith in the CFL, in
What?
any technology. They've sucked. They've literally have blown. Their stats are still not to where it should be. They're not as bad as they used to be, but they're not.
I mean, their stats are updating live about 5 minutes delayed.
But not as accurate as they should be all the time, I'll say.
But isn't that why and I'm asking this completely oblivious. Isn't that why they're doing this update to the website?
Well, let's hope. This was
announced during the Grey Cup.
Yeah, and
we were in the room when it was announced.
And we were supposed to have a way better app by now. There's all kinds of things.
See, so we're supposed to have it by now. That technically it's still being delivered in 2026.
Yes, it is. But you do this kind of stuff at the beginning of the season. You don't do it at the end of your season or the midway point of your season.
Why?
Because it's just amateurish. NFL, that's the biggest league in the world. The NFL, we'll call it the biggest league in the world. They call themselves that.
They
would never do that. That would never happen in the NFL. In soccer, you would never see that happen in soccer because
there's also
put up with it.
I think that is.
If people are wondering what I'm doing, I'm folding socks.
I think that is an absurdist take.
I'm literally folding socks.
I think that is a completely absurd take. I think if you've ever
think whatever you want, you're wrong.
But you've worked and you've planned things meticulously and have had, whether you're working with, you used to open stores for a retailer in a previous life.
Yes.
How many times did you guys have a tentative date for something and then had to change it? Not
once.
You never once had an not external, not an external announcement, but an internal. This is when we want to launch, and you've had to push it.
We have done things, and I remember it vividly. It's Christmas. You can't change Christmas. You can't change Christmas Day. Christmas Day is December 25th. If internally, externally, it doesn't matter. If we say we're going to open on August 30th, that store is opening August 30th. It come hell or high water. And you've seen it. You've seen where I've been gone for 2 weeks at a time and literally have worked 48 to 72 hours straight to make it happen. We never miss. It was a yes thing.
That's never because I've worked because I know I've worked with third parties and in other jobs.
Oh yeah,
where it's like this is going to happen. Yeah, this is the day it's going to be delivered. Oh, sorry, there's been a delay. I feel like that's what's happened with the website is they wanted it launched 13 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but there were delays and
it's always something.
So you don't care. So you would have rather them waited until next season to make this update?
It would have been make way more sense to wait till the end of the season to make the updates. To make the update halfway through is asinine.
I don't think it changes anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't change the game whatsoever. For the average fan, it means absolutely nothing. The only thing it does, it just makes the league look cheap. Makes the league look second class.
I don't. They're making an upgrade for the fan experience, and you're calling it cheap and
because it should have been done at the beginning of the season. You don't.
But that's an arbitrary. That's an arbitrary date.
That's like saying we're going to randomly change the rule in mid-season. Nah, that rule didn't work. It's doing the same thing.
I feel like the CFL actually has done that before.
I was like, did they do that?
Did they introduce the Wally Buono rule? Did they introduce the Wally Buono rule partway through the season?
So which rule was that?
That's the second challenge if it's
Yeah.
successful.
Something tells me that they changed the rules.
Something in my brain is like, I
Yeah.
think the CFL has done that. That is actually amateurish. But
I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm just giving you the gears. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah.
In the big picture, do the update, move on. You didn't even need to announce it. Just do it.
yeah,
It's a website.
To me,
How many people go look at the website? Very few.
I do to pull up the stats for every week. That's it. But also, like, A, the takes were insane. I don't know if you saw any of them. B, why make an announcement? Just change it.
That's what I said. Just change it. It's
it makes no sense to me. But either way, let's talk about the week that was in the CFL. We are week 12.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That started off first game of the week. The game that we all thought would go the way it went. The Ottawa Red Blacks go in to Montreal and lose by a score of 46-16. I put here, Owls continue to roll, and will heads roll in Red Blacks organization.
Well, it already did. They fired their vice president of football operations. So, I mean, every time they lose, the heads will roll. It's lose, fire.
Well,
lose,
they did.
fire.
They did bring in Jim Pop.
Yes.
Back to the organization. So, I'm sure that'll do something eventually. What this does bring up, though, is, and I saw it a couple times, is the I can't think of the right word, not the player cap, but the admin executive cap.
Admin cap. The admin cap is ruining our league.
100%.
It's just so, oh my gosh. I forget why I brought this up to myself this week. I saw something.
I think you saw my reply to a fellow podcast group talking about how the CFL and CFL, or the CFLPA would never go for removing the cap because they want the money going towards players and not just coaches. And
yeah, no, there was something else I saw and I went, min cap's killing our league. And it really is. It's just one of those things that.
So, again, I got into a conversation on Twitter because I got bored, and when I am bored, I'd like to argue with people. Their big thing was that the PA would never agree to removing that cap because money wouldn't go to the players. Absurd take, first off. Secondly,
what money wouldn't go to the players?
Well, they were saying that the admin cap is there to stop bloat from organizations, from just the rich organizations taking all the good coaches, and then the money from that wouldn't go to the Players Association. It wouldn't go to the players. Yeah. And I've heard this argument before, is that the Players Association is against it because of money reasons.
How about
I don't understand that.
Hire coaches that can make the players better. Simple.
That, but also hire multiple coaches for like, you shouldn't have a defensive back secondary / defensive coordinator / return specialist.
Because you can, there's no way that coach can properly go over film with the players the way they should be every week. And it's killing the league. It's hopefully somewhere down the road, somebody upstairs will go, okay, this needs to stop.
So in the NHL CBA, because it's the one I'm most intimately known with, there's a definition called hockey-related revenue. Hockey-related revenue impacts how much the cap is and what the cap floor is. I Googled this very quickly. You know what the NBA Players Association has with their CBA?
What?
They have basketball-related revenue. You know what the NFLPA has with the NFL? Football-related revenue. And a certain percentage of football-related revenue has to go back towards players. Meaning, this is what our expectation of football-related revenue is.
Does the CFL not have that?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my understanding of the CBA.
I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that the CFL would have football operations percentage. I'll check into that and let you know.
Because this whole idea that the money is going to go to coaches and the players associations against it, because then they can't control how much money each organization is spending. And it made no sense. Like, that's the only argument I can see, is that they're concerned that organizations are going to spend more money on coaches than they are on players. And there's no direct tie to revenue coming in from the players' activity back to the players.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
That's the only way that makes sense to me, for the CFLPA to say, no, we need to have an
admin
cap.
I don't think the CFLPA is the ones that brought this forward.
From everything I've been reading online, it's the PA that wants it in there.
Okay, I'll do some. I'm going to dig into this week, and I'll come back next week with more information on it, because something's not right there.
Yeah, that's, and it very well could be my understanding of the argument.
Yeah,
but that's literally, I went back and forth with a guy like 3 times. I was like, I don't understand what the issue is here.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
More changes in the Red Blacks universe. The Alouettes continue to roll. I didn't get a chance to watch this game. Anything stand out other than, the entirety of the Alouettes?
I mean, they're worst team in the league is going up against the best team in the league. I was asked the other day on the Rod Show, is Ottawa the worst team you've ever seen in this league? And I answered yes. And then I kind of went, maybe not. Maybe there's been worse teams. But this is now 19, I think, and 0. They're 0-19, going back to last year. Like,
it's insane.
They just don't have it. And when you look at their stats, you look at the players that they have, they should. Like, it doesn't make sense right now what's happening in Ottawa, and nobody has the answer. They've tried everything, and
they've tried everything
until
but
they
one
go
thing.
away from Jake Mayer, I think it's not going to move anywhere, even though he can move the ball, but they get to the 20-yard line and he stops.
Well, the only thing they haven't tried is moving away from Jake Mayer, other than moving away from Jake Meyer, whatever his name is, and is firing the head coach.
In the CFL, you can't really fire a head coach, right?
Because of the aforementioned cap.
Yes.
But also Dinwiddie's, it's his first year in Ottawa.
So you can't blame Dinwiddie. Like,
I remember
nobody has the answer. And I've talked to a lot of football people. Like, I've talked to a lot of football people, and they're all like, I have no idea. If I knew, we would be having that discussion.
And the thing is like, again, like you said, you look at the stats, and Jake Mayer's throwing 300-yard games, right? Like, 1 interception, 2 interceptions max, like, but 0 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
He's throwing 70% accuracy, 0 touchdowns. It's infuriating, I'm sure, for Red Blacks fans.
I agree.
The next game, much closer of a game. The second best team, the Edmonton Elks, hosted the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the Elks end up pulling out the win by a score of 22-19.
This is one I think the Bombers let get away. Elks were beatable, and the Bombers let them get away. I was worried because, of course, I went 4-0 this week, and I was worried that I was going to lose the second one, because Bombers looked like they might pull it out, and then they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. Stupid penalties at the worst possible times, and they blame the refs. Of course, it's always the refs' fault. They hate us. You know how it goes.
You see that at the end of every game. It's Bomber fans being mad at the refs. Elks fans being like, "It was a clean play. I don't know what you're talking about."
I always laugh, and I mean, we do it. I've done it. It's like, oh my god, the refs are the worst refs in the league. Come on. Luckily, there's only one ref that's horrible in this league. I don't think he reffed a game all week.
I only was able to watch one game, so
I watched them all, and I didn't see him. I was worried he was going to be in BC because I hadn't seen him in the first three. So, no, I thought Edmonton was definitely beatable. And I say that for a purpose. They were beatable. They didn't look that great.
Their defense, I think, was whatever adjustments they made in that second half.
Yes.
From the highlights I watched, really shut down the Bombers' offense. I mean, they only scored 3 points in the second half.
It was hilarious listening to the game because if you were literally not a football fan and you turned it on, you would turn it off thinking, well, this is a blowout and the Edmonton doesn't stand a chance, because the announcer was saying things like, well, Edmonton can do anything they want. And this was all in the first and second quarter. And I was like, we're just in the first quarter. It was 2 drives. Like, whoa, slow it down. Then middle of the second quarter, they started to fall apart. Second half, well, this was a tale of 2 tapes. We don't know what went on. Well, Edmonton went into the locker room and went, oh, we had the wrong game plan. We're going to change our game plan, and here's what we're going to do defensively now.
We went game plan A. They showed up with game plan B. We're going to adjust the game plan B, assuming that they're not going to adjust because it's working.
Insane. It was just, I remember listening to the game, and you sparked it when you said something there, and I was just like, oh my God. And you know who it was, and it's just
the question I have. The question I have coming out of this is, do we believe the Elks are as good as their record says?
Yeah, because, yes. 100%. They are good. They were beatable.
I was going to say, there's now 3 games. The one against BC.
Yeah.
This Bombers game, and I think the Saskatchewan game, where they won. And again, we'll say it especially when it comes to Lions, a win's a win. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly.
Yes.
But all 3 of those games,
they were beatable.
They're not the Montreal Alouettes level of good.
No.
There
is the Alouettes this season, and then everybody else. That's how they're just. The Alouettes are just that good. Alexander, and you have Philpott and his go-go gadget arms. I want him tested because, oh my God, I don't think he's freaking human. I know we met him and he is human, but holy mother, that kid is having a season. I would love to be around the family table when dad starts to poke at both of them because he is having a season to beat everything.
Yeah. So you believe the Elks are as good as the record says, but they're definitely a beatable team.
And that's what I keep saying, and I say it for a purpose. They're beatable. And football's different than any other sport we watch. Baseball, there's 7 games in a playoff. Hockey, there's 7 games in a playoff. You have to beat me 4 times.
Football, there's 1.
Well, any given Sunday, folks. And that's why I say the Elks are beatable. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Next game,
talking about 2 beatable teams. The Hamilton Tiger Cats face off with their provincial rival, taking on the Toronto Argonauts, and the Argos win by a score of 39-20. I have nothing to say about this game because honestly, I watched the highlights, but my brain did not comprehend any of them.
It was one of those games where I couldn't focus on the game. It was so damn boring. It was like, okay, the game's on. Squirrel. Literally, there was a squirrel. I'm not kidding. I was outside I'm staying at the trailer. There was a squirrel. That's how boring this game was. It just wasn't anything that resembled good football on both sides. So
Yeah, it was a game. It happened. The Argos won. The Ticats
we
lost,
won. Good game.
and then we get to talk about the game of the week, in my opinion. The BC Lions hosting the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Lions win by a score of 30-16.
I'm going to
And
lean
this game,
in.
sorry, I want to say this. This game, the score in this game does not represent the game itself.
I'm going to lean in real close for Rider fans, and I'll talk slowly. We, the Lions, it's we, made you look bad. You didn't play bad. We made you look bad. Simple. I mean, our defense shut them down.
Yep.
We've called him a surgeon, Harris. When he's in that pocket, he can dice and freaking cut you open. He couldn't do anything. He scored one touchdown, I think. One touchdown, was it? Just one touchdown they had?
One
I want to say it was. Huh?
Yep, one touchdown.
One touchdown. He threw 2 interceptions. They turned the ball over 4 times. One where we just pulled the ball out of the receiver's hands. That was hilarious.
To me, that was kind of the turning point of the game, because if that's a catch, the Riders with a minute left, 30 seconds, 45 seconds left in the half, have a chance to go for a touchdown.
Exactly.
If not, at least get a field goal.
They couldn't figure out our defense. They tried to adjust, and it was a chess match, and they were playing checkers. Yeah. And they got out-coached. They got outplayed in every aspect, and that is a defense win. Yes, we almost doubled their points, and yes, Rourke had another 300 plus yards,
350 plus,
just 350 plus, but so did Harris.
Yeah,
right.
To be fair, Harris had one more yard in the air than Rourke did.
Yes. We just outplayed them defensively. And this was a defensive game. And boy, do we have egg in our face for saying we wanted our defensive coordinator fired after game 2 or 3. I mean, high five.
Whatever he did to get those changes and tweaks, and I don't know. Again, don't get me wrong. I still have frustrations when it's second and long and you're playing this soft zone defense. I swear to God, I almost lost it early in the first
you did.
part of that game.
You didn't almost lose it. You lost it.
Oh, I was incensed. Like, they have to throw the ball 9 yards. Why are you playing a 5-yard zone and a 12-yard zone? You know what that leaves? A 9-yard gap.
The math is simple.
But other than that, I mean, the defense is, whether you've got pressure from Betts on the front line. I mean, Betts almost had an interception. He dropped back into coverage a handful of times. Like, they're using him as if he's a linebacker rather than just an edge.
He's so versatile. He's so good at what he does. And And
if he lines up on the line, you have to respect that. Okay, we need to make sure we have eyes on him. Yeah.
Right.
Which allows the other guys to get free.
Yes. No, it's clicking, and Rourke is clicking. And man, when you have your defense clicking and your offense clicking, the only thing left is special teams. And that's the only thing I could say about the Lions game right now that I'm kind of shaking my head at. It's
really the return game. It's like
that's what I'm talking
like the
about.
punt. Yeah, but special teams is like the punting, field goal kicking. No issues with that. It's literally just the return game, and I felt it got better. Well, I felt it got better early in this game. There was 2 or 3 returns where it was
we got a couple
15, 20-yard returns.
40. You got to bring that ball to the 40. Wherever you are, you got to start at your 40. It's been proven over and over again. If you start at your own 40, the chances of you scoring a touchdown increase dramatically.
But there hasn't been that huge breakthrough.
No, there's been none.
Every now and again.
Zero. Right? They just run it up and drop. And
So-
okay,
and
Rourke,
just-
you do your stuff.
And Saskatchewan had a few big returns where they started with the ball on the 50, 55-yard line.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it
Um,
is. It's the only thing I think they really need to work on is that return game.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
100% agree. Anything else before we get into everyone's favorite segment?
No.
Before the old man locks in his this week's predictions, you need to lock in your focus. W gives you clean and zero sugar energy with absolutely no crash or jitters. Fuel up for game day and use code Hughes Sports Podcast for 10% off at WGG. Again, that code is Hughes Sports Podcast for 10% off at W.GG. And now it is time for everyone's favorite segment.
It's time for the old man predictions. How well did he do? Do-do-da, do-dee-do.
That is right, everyone. It's time for the old man predicts. How well did he do? Do-dee-da, do-dee-do. And this week, the old man goes a perfect, for the first time this season, a perfect 4-0. And I put at the end here, trust us, because
we weren't here last week.
we weren't
But
here.
I did put
you
my
messaged
picks
me?
out.
You
And
did?
I did put my picks out on
Yep.
the Rod Peterson show. So
And you messaged me them. That's
Yes.
no matter what you said, you had already sent them to me. You picked 4 home teams. All 4 home teams won. The week prior to that, you actually ended up going 3-1, meaning since we've been here, you went 7-1, which is impressive over 2 weeks.
yes.
Bringing your total record to 28-18.
Better than any of the pros. I'm just saying. So-called panel. I should be on the damn panel. I'm picking better than anybody.
Well, I mean, it's the panel. I don't think get paid to pick. I think
Oh.
they get paid to entertain. So
They don't even do that.
Well, they might have it better than you, though.
Did we ever talk about that horrible segment, that absolutely despicable segment
Okay.
they had on TSN?
No, but we can talk about that after we get
Okay.
through the old man predicts. Quickly, because if you want to talk about that, we have Montreal going into Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers.
Alouettes still
Montreal
gonna roll.
is favorited there. We have the Ticats going in to face Calgary, and of course Calgary is the favorite in that one.
I'm gonna, yeah, I'll take the Stamps. It's
Then
gonna be
we
closer
have-
than people think, though.
I think
Just
that
for
game. I think that game could go either way.
Yeah,
They're 4-7 versus 4-6. I know Vernon Adams is Vernon Adams, but then we have the late game for the doubleheader on Saturday. Saskatchewan hosting Toronto.
I'd like to take the Riders, but I'm almost scared to take them. I'll take the Riders.
Scared to take the Riders.
Yeah, I think this one could be the upset. I think Toronto could come out and win this one.
And then we have the BC Lions flying all the way to the nation's capital in Ottawa to take on the lowly 0-10 Red Blacks.
This could be a trap game, and I'm really worried about it. BC, I'm going to take BC, but they can't take Ottawa too lightly, and they got to make sure they're on for this one.
Yes, I 100% agree. It should be easy. That doesn't mean you can take it easy.
Exactly.
But the old man predicts for week 13, the Montreal Alouettes, the Calgary Stampeders, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the BC Lions. Before we wrap up the show, the old man wants to talk about a segment.
No,
of TV
go ahead. Nah, I don't want to talk about it.
We rushed through this so you'd have time to talk about it.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'll talk about it. Did you watch the TSN segment halftime where that's so Ottawa?
No, I did not.
It was absolutely horrible. It was in the worst taste. And it was like anything, they showed clips of horrible plays and they would just say, oh, that's so Ottawa. And they'd have horrible music playing. You could see the panel was like, oh, this isn't going over the way we thought it would. It
What-
was, if I'm the owner of the Ottawa Redblacks, I'm on the phone to TSN going, excuse me, we're having a hard enough time over here. We don't need you guys being fucking assholes.
So is that not a spoof on themselves though? That's so fire. That's fire.
No, this was just a shot at the Ottawa Redblacks. It was a blatant,
I
in your face. Yeah, go back and listen to it. It was horrible. It was so awkward.
To be fair, I usually turn off the halftime show because I don't find them that
me too.
entertaining. I don't usually watch it because
They're not entertaining.
A, they're not entertaining. B, they bring very little analysis to the game. They're usually talking about the game that previously happened or the game that's happening after this one that you're watching.
Yes.
Right? I'll usually listen to the interview before the halftime from the player, and then the interview after halftime, and then right into the game.
Exactly.
But that is the show for August 26th. Next time we speak with you all, it'll be September. 1 month closer to hockey starting. We'll be 1 month closer to the Grey Cup.
And 1 month closer to being cold.
Do we have a guest for next week? Or is that the week? You might need to go back into
when
things are. The following year. Okay. Stay tuned for that announcement because I don't want to announce anything out of turn or too early.
Yeah, wait.
We should have a guest in the next couple of weeks.
Big one.
A big guest.
Huge. Well, the guest isn't huge, but the news will be huge.
The news will be huge. Huge, not Hughes. I'm a Hughes. You're a Hughes. This is the Hughes Sports Podcast.
Will be huge.
The news will be huge. But what else is huge is your guys' support. If you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, leave a comment down below on what game you think is going to be game of the week in week 13 of the CFL season. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Mwah.